What's up, daddies? What's up? Welcome to Life Equals. This is like the 8th episode, 9th episode. Honestly, I never remember. But like I said before, I love doing these. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And share with all your homies. This one is about motivation. So life equals motivation, right? All right, so everybody knows what motivation is. Something. What is your thing that drives you, that moves you forward, that keeps you doing what you have to be doing, right? So the thing is that I believe that sometimes what motivates you matters. Because like some people can argue that it doesn't matter what motivates you as long as you do what you're supposed to do, right? Well, I believe that sometimes it does matter, because if you're motivated by the wrong things, then you're probably doing that thing for the wrong reason, or even, if you're motivated by the wrong things to do something that's wrong, so, and then that's not all this is about, obviously. So just to go on that a little bit, imagine if you, you think that, I'm gonna be an NFL player. Like, I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna be the best NFL player there ever was. But the way you're motivated by that is, your father or mother or both pushing you in very negative ways, and pushing you too hard. For example, in the show Euphoria, there's a character whose dad is so hard on him, it makes him go crazy. And, not crazy, obviously, but it makes him not want to do sports anymore. And then because he's one of the best players in high school, like he says, I'm the best player on the field every time. Then he gets to college and realizes everybody's the same level, and it hurts him, because he's like, oh my god, what if I don't make it to the NFL? I've always said I'm going to make it and I'm going to be great. And it's just when you have that like motivation of being forced, rather than like the motivation of wanting to do it for yourself, or even for someone else, but for someone who's not literally pushing you way too hard to an almost abusive extent, then I feel like it's good. You're going to be more successful in a lot of ways. And like I said, that's an example of like he's going to do it for something really good. He wants to do it like to be an NFL player. It's not like he just is motivating him to play football. He wants to do something great, something that literally very little people on this planet do. And just the way he is motivated, it doesn't feel right to him. And that's what I mean by that sometimes you can have the wrong motivation. And then in other cases, you can, like I said, you can have people motivate you to do the wrong things. There's extreme cases, obviously, like, terrorists and stuff like that. But just in a normal sense, if someone is motivating you, and almost like, peer pressure is what I mean by this one. So like, let's say someone is trying to tell you, like, if you do this, like if you steal from this store, you'll be cool, you'll be our friend, you'll be our, you'll be part of our crew, stuff. I know I sound lame when I say that, but I'm just saying, like, that type of stuff is another way that motivation can go wrong. And now, also, and I'm not putting down, this isn't like the expectations ones, where I just don't believe that expectations are, always a good thing. This is like where I'm saying that there is negative motivation, but there is positive as well. Something that I'm a very big believer in is, having motivation that is doing something that is positively motivated. Like, for example, I believe that me and my wife have a really awesome fucking relationship. To be honest, like we're pretty fucking awesome. And a lot of people say we're couple goals and all that, and we are. There's things that go wrong, obviously, but the reason is, I think, is because we motivate each other to be better for each other. It's not, we're not being better for ourselves, but we are at the same time, So it's like instead of just being like, oh, for example, me, I know I just got, cut myself off, but it's fine. For example, me, I, grew up very, very lazy. A lot of you already know, I was sick all the time. And not only that, I also, my mom did everything for me. I'm talking like laundry, all that, until I got older and my dad started making me do it. But even then, I still only did it when I was forced to and all that. So when I got with my wife, when we moved in together, when we were dating still, I was lazy as hell. I didn't do anything. Like, I would cook because I love to cook. That's it. But she would clean the whole house by herself, every single thing. And she started to make me realize, like, this isn't right. You gotta, yes, we both worked, and there was times where when I was working as a teacher and I was working 3 hours away that I really couldn't help. But before that, 3 hours, hour and a half away. Before that, there was times where I just didn't, and I, slowly but surely started to realize, like, she's right. I have to help. I can't just do nothing, So I went from doing literally nothing to, and yes, it should have been like that, but it wasn't. I literally had to build myself up to doing more and more things around the house. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but this is just how I was raised, and I didn't even realize it was a bad thing. And then now, I feel like I help her. It's probably not 50-50, but I feel like it's definitely up there 60-40-ish. I do a lot more than I used to. And it has built us even stronger. That's something that's exactly what I mean, is that she motivated me. She wasn't like, yes, sometimes it did cause arguments, but she wasn't just like, hey, do this or I'm leaving you. She was like, hey, can you please help me with this? Can you start doing this? And that is, yes, like I said, it did cause arguments sometimes, and she did yell, but that wasn't a factor of what made it work. What made it work was the fact that she did try to work with me on it, and then there's vice versa, where, there's some things like I needed her to I needed to help her work on. I'm not going to spread her business. It's not, just mine. And it worked out. And now, like I said, we've never been in a bad place, but we've never been in a better place than now. I think it's, every relationship has ups and downs, and I think you need to work on it. And I get that. But because of that motivation, I think it makes it easier to work on and makes it work so well. And I know I just went off on a little tangent there about, like, and like I said, these things are therapy for me. So it's helpful to talk about stuff. But another thing, personal wise, is, like I talked about in the last episode, is school. I was never motivated to do school. When I was young, I was going hard, all A's and everything, literally. Then I kind of stopped caring on purpose, like an idiot. And what motivated me to start trying again was a teacher that I had. Senior year, I had a teacher. I had a lot of good teachers. My favorite teacher ever has junior and senior year. He was just hilarious, and he actually seemed like he cared about us, even though he made a lot of jokes and stuff. He really made us realize that life isn't always easy, but he's not the point here. My teacher that I think helped me out the most, he wasn't my favorite teacher, but he was very, very helpful. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but he made me realize that, school matters, because it's not like, yes, you can do stuff that isn't college related and all that, but it's not like it's a, hurtful thing just to try. And because of him, he made me love social studies, like I already did. I loved history and all that, but he made me love it to another extent. And he wrote his doctoral stuff. I don't know what the word is. I don't remember, but on social studies and how they work, social sciences, and how they work in a classroom. And that made me, just reading some of his work, because he stayed after school and helped me and everything, it made me realize, I want to do something like that. And yes, it didn't work out. I wasn't even a great teacher. I feel like I was pretty good, test scores were high, but I wasn't a great teacher. I was very tired from all the driving I had to do and all kind of stuff. But, I was very high energy there, and I did get pretty good test scores, but I didn't, even though he did push me, not even on purpose, he didn't even realize he was doing it, push me into wanting to be a teacher. I don't think it worked out for me, because I just didn't think I don't think I was cut out for it. And I'm not saying in the sense of actual teaching, like I said before. I think the whole situation of where I started and everything messed me up. Maybe I'll go back to it one day, but honestly, I doubt it. I'm hoping YouTube takes off and I don't have to. But, you guys can help me out with that. But again, that motivation made me try, and I ended up going straight from high school to a community college, which is a funny story in itself. I was planning on going to culinary school for a minute there, and then my mom signed me up for the community college in Jacksonville. Didn't even tell me. I had no idea. And then she's like, hey, I signed you up. We need to go sign up for classes. I'm like, what? So, and I'm glad she did. Like I said, it worked out. And I started to think about it. And I was like, well, this, I did want to be a teacher for a while. And I was talking to my other teacher, and I ended up going from that community college to the University of Florida, which is a top 15 public university in the world, and graduating, with pretty high grades. And honestly, I'm very, very happy. It was my dream school when I was growing up. So there was tough times doing that, moving all the way to Gainesville and stuff. But overall, it was worth it. And that's my whole point, is that motivation, I don't think it's everything, but it is very important and it's necessary. And you also got to watch out for negative motivation, and I don't just mean motivating you to do negative things. I mean also being motivated negatively to do a positive thing. It doesn't always work out. Thank you guys for listening as always. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace.